Check, check, 1, 2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Broadcasting live from Autopolis in Japan. This is the GT4 Championship brought to you by Scorpio Esports. I am Scorpio Blade now. Still the same broadcaster. New name, new cap. Yeah, should be. I'm already blanking on what else to say. Qualifying taking place for round 3 of our GT4 Championship. As our drivers take to their outlaps for this 5-minute qualifying session, let's give a quick rundown for the championship standings as they run. Currently 9 drivers have scored points, so we'll go through them. Void Z currently excuse me, holds the top spot in the championship at 64 points. Then we have a tie for second between AMS Super S2K and James, Mr. Smythe. Yep, I'm just making sure his tag hasn't changed yet. Both of them are tied at 60 points, so very close between our top 3. Alec currently sat in P4 in the standings at 51 points, tied with AMS Drift King, who also at 51. 6th in the standings, Safe at 46. Bentley in 7th in the standings at 43. Ty 8th in the standings at 40. And then Hawk in 9th at 12 points. All else who have participated so far, well, I say participated, have not run a race yet. So all else signed up. But that will change tonight. We do have a few newcomers. RVN Lion, nice to see you once again. Making his debut in the BRZ. Already halfway through qualifying here at Autopolis. And it is Sanchez currently on pole position. James jumps himself up into 2nd. Toxic into 3rd. Empire 4th. Ryan, Drift King in 5th. Hello, Gramanos. This is Scorpio GT4. Custom GT4 BOP using the road cars. Should be a very interesting battle indeed. Void Z now goes to the top, championship leader. As we scroll on through, but excuse me, Mike has not yet set a lap time. Lion currently out on the track at a 15.0. So I'm sure he'll be looking to knock out a little more lap time here. Now with just a few minutes remaining. 14.4 jumps him up to 7th. Good lap from him. I wish I could say I wish I could say a little more about this beautiful facility here that we are racing at. Still a very new track to me, so can't say too much about it. Good overtaking spots though into turn 1, turn 2, and the final corner. And then you might be able to make a couple moves through this, going into this hairpin here, but yes, it should all be joinable. Sign-ups, I believe, are in the Scorpio Discord and on SimHub, or SimGrid, excuse me. So sign-up information should be in there. I unfortunately don't have any, don't have links to it at this immediate moment, as time will expire in 3, 2, 1. That will do it for qualifying. Ryan will get in one more lap before the end of this. Toxic has finished up his lap, so he will start no better than 3rd. James is parked off in the gravel. Sanchez with a jump up to second at the death. Ryan still on his lap. Did Voidsey make it around? Yes, Voidsey is still on another lap. No, but he's run wide, so that will do it for him. Right on board with Ryan now as he comes to the conclusion of this lap here. Or not. Can't find a good camera angle. Just 2 corners to go here as he rockets down this little straightaway hard under the brakes. Keeping it nice and tight, which you kind of need to do for this last kink of a corner. Out onto the front straightaway. What will it be at the line? A 1:11.8. Improvement, but we'll keep him in third. So it will be Voidsey from Sanchez from Ryan, followed by Toxic Empire up into 5th in the Nismo, followed by James in the BMW. Still needs to complete a lap though. He won't be improving from 6th on the grid. I do not know how to pronounce that name. Alberoni? I'm just going to call you Sir. So Sir in 7th, Ty 8th, Lion will start 9th, and Mike will round out our grid having not set a lap. So, format for those who are new to the series, which completely understandable, was not able to broadcast was it last week or the week before? I think it was the week before. Either way, missed out, wasn't able to broadcast round 2. Did have the opening round though. Or was it the other way around? I don't remember. Either way, I only broadcast one of the 2 previous rounds. 9-lap sprint race for these drivers to start. So we will get rolling in 3 minutes. 9-lap sprint race here on the short course, and then it will be a 14-lap feature race on the full layout. Not always do we use the short versus the full layouts on the venues in if they are available to us, but for this occasion, it looks like we will be. So good, I got 2 different layouts I need to learn to broadcast. Certainly a very interesting looking circuit. I can't say from, well, I guess I can kind of say from experience from the few occasions that I've driven the full course just through the career mode on GT7. Fun layout. It's a fun track. Long lap, but fun nonetheless. Haven't been able to drive the short course yet, Lester. You said it, not me. Yes, it is a very interesting layout for the sake of the monetization that we don't get here on the Scorpio Esports channel. I'm going to take a brief moment just to try to get myself a drink of something before we get started. So give me 2 seconds, folks. We will be right back for the start of the race. All right, perfect timing. Oh, goodness. All right. So, 9-lap sprint race ahead of us. All drivers required to use the Racing Hard tire for the sprint race. I believe the options will open up for these drivers for the feature race. I can't confirm that just yet, but we will get going. So, Voidsey on pole in the Mercedes. To start off, Sanchez in second in the Toyota, and then it's Ryan in the Camaro starting third. Championship protagonists, or immediate championship protagonists, lining up on your left-hand side of the screen as lights come on, drivers rev up, and we are underway here for round 3 at Autopolis. And it is a good start for most of the grid, a great start for Mike in the back. That Aston really getting off the line very well. It's down into turn 1. It's the Mercedes that will lead Sanchez with a slight bump to the rear bumper as they go through turn 1. Now that's going to leave the door open for Ryan to get the run down through and into turn 2 as it looks like we have a car off in the back. Ryan will slot himself up and clear the Toyota as he will set his sights on Voidsey in the lead. Sanchez looking back up the inside, not quite enough momentum to think about a dive. Now through this long, sweeping left-hander. Very flat corner, a little bit off camber as well, so drivers have to be very careful with how they take it. Now back through this sweeping right onto this short straightaway as they get ready for the hairpin here. Needing to keep it tight all the way through the corner so that way they can have as straight an exit as they can out onto the front straightaway. And Ryan slowly, I say slowly closing the gap. That Mercedes evidently with legs on it down the straight. Great exit for Voidsey as they come around to start lap 2. Running through the field, Toxic up into 4th. The other Camaro on the grid. James up into 5th in the BMW. Empire running 6th, Sir 7th, Lion into 8th, with under attack from the Mustang. Ty looking around the outside. Can he make that move stick? He's going to be set up nicely for the these next 2 corners here, but Lion's still on the inside for the hairpin. And he will be able to hold on to it for now. And it was Mike who ran off the track at turn 1 on the opening lap. Back up front, Distinct continuing to run away in the Mercedes. Incredible pace he's demonstrating so far. Using all the track and then some on exit of that final kink. Crosses the line at 1:10.8. Faster than we saw in qualifying, but also I believe track conditions a little more favorable at this moment. Ryan slowly edging a gap over Sanchez, who's coming under attack from Toxic in the other Camaro. Just 0.2 the gap, now closing again. Sanchez taking carrying much more momentum into that corner, but it doesn't quite set him up as nicely through that double left-hander. As Toxic's going to run wide, that's going to allow James to possibly get a run on him. Not quite going to be able to work. We'll see if we can set anything up coming through this left-hander. No, nearly losing the back end. Through the left, back through to the right. Down this short straightaway, hard under the brakes for the hairpin. That Camaro, just an absolute belting sound as they pour on the throttle. Charging their way down the front straightaway. Does James have enough momentum to think about a move? No, not quite close enough just yet. Maybe running a little wide through turn 1. Still a viable line. He's actually got a much better exit than Toxic out of the first corner. Into turn 2, no, he's going to back out of it. Toxic leaves him the space, Can James set up a crossover through this double left-hander? No. Maybe a little bit of a nudge to the back of the Camaro on exit. Drops a tire in the grass for good measure as well. The Camaro not really getting to the apex of the corner, costing him a lot of time through there. James closing in. The Camaro is actually going to let him through. Toxic lets him through. James a little wide though on entry. I'm a little surprised. I wasn't expecting Toxic to just lay over and let James through, but you know, sprint race, you know, not too much at stake. Probably better for his race if he doesn't battle. Lose a few, maybe lose less spots if he does. Meanwhile, back up front, Voidsy, that Mercedes is something else in his hands. He's run, what, a 110.7 to a 111.6. Nearly a second quicker than Ryan. That's very impressive pace. Either that, excuse me, either his pace is something else in these road cars, or that Mercedes is just very strong in terms of BOP at this track. Perhaps we'll see it claw back a little later when it comes time for... Ooh, James gets a big slide through the final corner. That'll cost him some time. Able to hold on to it for now, though. Everyone so far running pretty much in the 111s. Empire in the 12s. 13s. You're in the 13s or 14s. Lion also in the 14s. Mike's back in the pits. Yet no one else really able to touch this Mercedes for lap time. Voidsy is like I said, either really on it, or that Mercedes BOP might need a bit of a look at. And note to James, if you ever watch this back, if at any point Scorpio starts looking into a drinks sponsorship, I gotta shout out my New York boys, Arizona Iced Tea, which I get is ironic considering the name, but apparently they are from New York, so or founded in New York. Arnold Palmer's to die for. Back to the action though. Ryan's continuing to slowly build his gap over those behind him. Voidsy, however, pulling out about a second a lap. And half a second a lap. Gap now 4.5 seconds almost, as he makes his way around, closing in on 2 to go here. As we actually have a battle for third brewing here. James looking to make up for lost time in qualifying. Can he find a way around Sanchez with 2 laps to go here? Gotta be careful over that final curb though. It looks like Toxic and Empire are going to go at it as well. Sanchez maybe looking a little defensive, or just slow to get over to the right hand side. Hard under the brakes for these guys as they make their way through turn 1. 2.5 tenths. Where does James think about making the move? He's a 10th up on his personal best right now. Let's take a wider line on the entry to this complex, but it should make up some time again through the middle part. Right on that Toyota's rear bumper. as they enter this long left-hander again. Oh, Sanchez is wide. James thought about sticking the nose in, nearly lost the back end. They're going to be side by side and coming into this final corner. Can Sanchez hang on to it, or is James going to be able to power around the outside? James going to attempt the crossover here. And Sanchez will hold on to it for now, as long as he didn't pick up a time penalty for getting all 4 tires off. White flag in the air. This little battle has allowed Ryan to really pull away here. Sanchez goes on the defensive. James will try the crossover on exit. Has the momentum, but will he get close enough to think about a move into this corner? No, he'll stay in line for now. He's going to set up the move. Sanchez a little wide. James going to try crossing him over through this double left-hander. Really fighting the back end of that BMW. Sanchez wide though at the hairpin. James going to get to his outside now for the left-hander. Can he hold it round? He's going to power right around the outside of the Toyota. Look at that for a move. An excellent move by the Scorpio next co-founder, I should say, as he will take the final podium spot in the sprint race. On the final lap, it is Voidsey who wins the sprint race, followed by Ryan in second. James will come home third, Sanchez fourth, Toxic will come home fifth, Empire sixth. Sir will round the final corner now, claim a well-deserved 7th place for him. Ty will come home 8th in the Mustang, and Lion will round out our on-track finishers in the BRZ in 9th. Might be running a little too much traction control there, bud. And Mike is still in the pits. That will do it for our sprint race. I believe it is a full grid, or a full reverse grid for the feature. I cannot say for sure on that, though. So if it is, fantastic. If it's not, I can't say I remember. Either way, should be a very interesting feature race in just a few moments. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks. We have still more action to come. We're gonna have to wait on Mike potentially. Oh, he was serving damage for the in the pits. That's why. Alright, folks, just gave us a few minutes to get the lobby set up for the feature race, and we will be going momentarily. Well, folks, in case you're reading the little chat over on the left-hand side, sounds like we might be potentially seeing a little bit of rain. Perhaps, mayhaps. Medium, or hard and medium required for the feature. So yes, the hard and medium required for the feature, but the requirement becomes void if any of the drivers go onto either of the wet weather tire compounds. I hope it didn't just disconnect. There we go. Fantastic. So, full course now here at Autopolis. See if we see anything on the radar screen. And that's a negative. So, if rain is coming, can't see anything yet. But hopefully, we get a little bit of wet weather action here today. So, could be interesting. Might be worth these drivers starting on the hard compound tire. So that way they can run as long as they need to get to the wet weather. If there is any coming anyway. And if there isn't, then they can finish on the medium anyway. And we will get started in 5 minutes time. So don't go anywhere, folks. I'm going to take a quick break, and we will be back in just a moment for the feature race. Still not 100% certain if it is a reverse grid. Do we have any rain? I see cloud cover. Not sure if there's anything in those clouds. Evidently not. At least according to this. Or it might just be lying to me. I don't know. Rolling in 2 minutes. And it is a reverse grid. So that should be very fun to see everyone trying to make their way through the grid. Alright folks, here we go. All drivers are waiting the lights. Reverse grid, so we have Mike starting on pole, Lion in second. We saw that Aston get off to a great start off the line last time. Let's see if he can do the same here. No, he's jumped it! Mike has jumped the start! Oh no! He came to a full stop again, so hopefully he doesn't get a penalty for it. It immediately drops to P6 after slipping off the brake pedal. Lion drops to 4th, nearly pushing Sanchez out onto the grass. Sanchez is going to miss the corner. Braking on the grass, he's going to run wide. He will drop down to the back. Voidsy's still in 9th. Ryan is still in 7th. James actually the first one starting to make up some positions, running 5th. So we look further up the grid. It is Ty starting to try to run away from the BMW. But Sir is going to try to make a move around the outside, holds him to the outside of the corner. I forgot that we're not running the short layout anymore. Bit of a snap of oversteer on exit, and Ryan's immediately up into 5th. Someone went around in the back. I didn't see who that was. Never mind, no one went around in the back. Voidsy, despite running away with the sprint race, still running back in 9th. Sanchez has actually started to reclaim some spots quite quickly. James still running in 5th. Lion's got a half-second penalty for something. Ryan now up to 2nd immediately, past the Mustang. So in one lap, he's gone from 2nd to last to 2nd. Now there's the pace we were expecting to see out of him. It sounded like we had a car get a bit sideways. That was Lion. Had a bit of trouble out of the final corner. He will drop down to last place. Sanchez making a move on Toxic for 5th, that is. Void Z starting to make up some spots now. Ty still running in 3rd. It is James now up to 4th. Only 4 seconds back from the lead, so if they start battling a bit too much, he could get right up into that action. Sir holding on to 1st for now, but he's very wide through the left-hander. It's going to allow Ryan to close the gap right up. Does he think about a move into the hairpin here? No, he's going to sit in line a little too far back for the time being. Good exit, though, from the Camaro. Does he look for a move down the hill? No, not quite. Not necessarily an overtaking opportunity, despite the long straight leading up to. But he's going to look for a crossover here through these winding, sweeping corners to round out the lap. Very much a driver's section here. And it feels like you can take multiple different lines through here, but you get offline too much and you're going to be paying the price for it. A little bit of contact. Ryan potentially a little eager trying to make the pass happen. But he will be side by side and starting to pull ahead and will clear the BMW into turn 1. There's that slide on exit from the BMW out of the final corner. Not able to keep up his momentum, and Ryan will now take hold of the lead from the back of the pack on lap 3. James now up to 3rd. Next closest car to Ryan. We'll see if he can go chase down the driver he's tied with in the championship. Sanchez still running 5th. Voidsy now attacking from 6th. So we'll keep an eye on this battle as our sprint race winner looks to make up all the lost time from the opening laps. James actually with the fastest lap of the race that last time through. Voidsy around the outside, a very off-camber hairpin, especially at the apex. Not quite able to make anything happen just yet. Sanchez with a little bit of a slide. Voidsy looking for some place to make the move, but with how fast these corners come out, these drivers, there's not really a place to try to stick it up the inside. Just kind of needing to sit in line and wait. Gonna attempt a crossover here, maybe. Potentially looks to do so, but no, Sanchez will be able to close the gap, shut the door on him. But as they come onto the front straight, Sir is into the pits immediately. Oh geez, those mediums did not last long at all. Shredded through those tires. Voidsy running wide. Sanchez now actually attacking the Mustang. Does Voidsy think about 2 for 1 here? He's going to give a little bit of a bump to the Mustang. No, he's going to have to sit in line and wait. Does he think about a dive? No, the Mustang covers him off. He's going to look to the outside here at the hairpin. Going to open himself up to attack from the Camaro. Not able to make anything happen there. Everyone running a little wide through that long sweeping left. Now back through the right, getting ready for the hairpin. Next best overtaking opportunity. Voidsy back up the inside of the Mustang, and will see himself into 4th place as now Toxic and the Camaro will jump up into, or will battle for 5th. Gonna send it round the outside at whatever corner this is. I don't know the numbers. Just carried a little too much speed and he'll have to wait. So Ryan now fastest lap of 151.2. So he looks to run away. 4 seconds clear of James in the BMW. That BMW shreds its tires. That might just be because James is on a controller. Sanchez, not much better for tire wear. Voidsy actually really attacking those tires despite being on the hards. Sanchez is probably in a similar spot to James for tire wear, despite, you know, obviously it looks worse, but he's on the hards, so probably a little worse tire wear on the Toyota. Toxic and Ty going at it still. Toxic will clear for 5th. Mike actually now running up in 7th place, having spent most of the sprint race in the pit lane. And Lion has just come out of the pits for the hards. Further up the grid, Voidsy is now past Sanchez and will set his sights after the 2 leaders. James really losing a chunk of lap time now. Those medium tires will not last very long here. He doesn't need them to last too much longer, but they're certainly not in pretty shape. I think probably needs to stay out this time by, but will want to pit at the end of the next lap, just to make his hard tires last. Voidsy, if he's going to follow a similar strategy to what James will need to run here in terms of laps completed, he'll need to go to about lap 9. All of our hard tire runners needing to realistically get to about lap 9 in order to make it on one stop. But they stay out for now. It was a slide further in the back. Toxic comes into the pits. Very tricky pit entry, must be said. Got to get slowed down for the entry, otherwise you're going to get clobbered into the outside wall. Ryan now 8-second lead over James, just hemorrhaging lap time on those old tires. Definitely needs to come into the pits this time. Looks like we had someone jump into the pits a bit further back. Perhaps a little bit of low-lying cloud cover coming in. Certainly not the blue skies we saw earlier. Will there be rain? Of course, you'll want to keep an eye out on the wet weather indicator in the bottom left corner, just between the race timer and the tire wear indicator. Ryan now at almost a 9-second lead on those medium tires, lasting a very long time. Babying those tires through. James, he's got to come in this time. He's not going to be able to go very long at all in those tires. Ryan is on the mediums, so I'm very surprised. He's actually got comparable tire wear percentages to those running the hards. He will obviously stay out on another lap or 2. James, we're expecting him into the pits here, and is. Gotta get slowed down for the entry, and just about does. So, 11-second gap for Voidsy to try to catch up to Ryan. See if it's doable for him. And we'll also get to see if his extreme pace from the beginning, or from the sprint race, was just because the Mercedes is more suited to straight lines and not corners, which is probably would have benefited him on the short course. Or if he's just having a little more trouble on the full circuit. Ryan's still extending the gap for now. Got about that full straightaway on the rest of the field. As they exit the hairpin, he was exiting the straight. Mike, running fourth, has got a half-second penalty he just picked up, so he'll have to serve that now. Ty still holding on to fifth in the Mustang. James, our leader on intermediates. Evidently, he sees rain on the radar then. Probably would have been beneficial for him to start on the hard tire then, run a bit longer. I'm sure he didn't want to go for the intermediates just yet. There's no water on track. Ryan now into the pits, as is Voidsey. Everyone coming into the pits now. Now halfway through this race. So we are at the halfway mark, but there's no water on track. And everyone is pitting onto intermediates. Where is the water? Oh, here's the rain. Here comes the rain. But how quickly will it start to fall here? Evidently, they saw something strong enough that would have required them to come out on... James just pit for the full wets. James was in the pit lane, is now strapped on the full wets. We're not even at inters yet. What on earth is going on? Ty has stayed out on dry tires. He's going to be crawling for the rest of this lap. And that gap is starting to come down. Voidsey has taken out about a second from the last time we checked on that lead gap. Evidently, that Mercedes a lot better in the wet. Oh my goodness, look at how quickly that water indicator is climbing. Is it going to hold stationary here, or will they be able to survive on the intermediates? Ryan's got a tough decision to make here. Will the rain go away, or can he hang on to this? It has just now become full wets weather. Ryan's going to stay out. He's going to try to hold on to it. He doesn't think the rain will get much worse than this. Voidsey with a big slide on exit. There's a 207.6 outlap to a 208.4. He is closing. Mike running third now in the Aston. So... great strategy call from him to be running third now. Empire running fourth. James on the full wets. I believe the only driver on the full wets. Toxic with a bit of a slide out of the final corner. Looking through. Ty's got a full second and front end damage. Yeah, you needed to pit the previous lap, bud. Unfortunately. Lion also on the dry tires. Crawling around, and we have lost someone. I believe it was Sanchez we lost, unfortunately. So Ty and Lion will finally get to come into the pits, or at least Ty will. Lion is only a few seconds up the road from Ryan. Lion is just a few seconds up the road from Ryan. Very similar sounding names, so I apologize. Lion is going to get lapped very quickly here by Ryan in the Camaro. In fact, he's probably going to get lapped right here. So he sees the blue flag. He's going to stay well out of the way. Seven seconds now. But I believe it's about... we're going to be 6 laps to go here at the line. Or no, it might be 5 to go here. Either way, if Voidsy wants this win, he probably needs a little more than a second a lap. Looking back, James is catching. The wet weather tires are the better performing tire. He's taken out about 2 seconds so far this lap. Wet weather tire seemingly the way to go. We had a spin. That's Mike. And he has damaged his rear bumper. Empire, with the run, should be able to clear him easily and does. So Empire now up into third. That is James in the background, closing in on both of them. Mike needing to be careful here not to pick up any more damage. Ooh, big slide of oversteers. He's going to try to fight back, try to reclaim that third place. Damage is fixed. These two battling is going to allow James to get right up to him as they crawl their way around this lap so far. A big snap for the Nissan. Empire trying to just crawl it round. Here comes James on the better tire. Looks up the inside. Empire gave him the room, but James not quite able to make the move happen just yet. 35 seconds off the lead. So I don't think he's going to be able to catch unless the rain... No! You didn't buy rain tires? I believe the race shop was open to be able to go purchase them in lobby. That is so unfortunate for the gentleman making his debut. Oh, what a shame. Well, have fun crawling around in this weather. James now looking to... FK, can we get some Fs in the chat for Lion? That is highly unfortunate. James, meanwhile, now trying to set up Mike for that podium position. Wet weather tires still the better tire, but they are still wrestling with the controls out front here. We'll watch this battle as they come down into turn 1. Does James think about the move? He's got to be careful. He was on the grass. Mike runs it deep. He will run off the track. Empire's going to have a run again, and this battle will continue. And yes, folks, I do see there Voidsy is catching. So we will jump to that in just a few moments. Empire does clear for 4th now. Grove is still right there. So while that happens, we'll just take a brief moment. Just about 5 seconds the gap between the two leaders. 2:05's in the wet. That is incredible lap time. Hey, that's a second a lap. Probably needs a little bit more than that, though, if he wants to catch Ryan. Further back. Empire now leading Mike's gone for another spin, unfortunately. So that will be the end of that battle. Toxic rounds that corner. Is now about 5 seconds or so behind Mike. Followed by Sir. Lion seeking shelter in the pit lane. Tyler crawling around on the wet weather tires, but a minute and a half behind the lead. Now just under 5 seconds between the two leaders here with 3 laps to go. So a 206.8 to a 205.5. If Voidsey can keep up this pace at about 1.3 each lap, he might be able to get to Ryan just in time. Oh, the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped. It should stay wet enough for intermediates to the end here. But that will also mean James is now no longer on the better tire. And he's got an 8 and a bit, or almost a 9-second gap back to Empire, so he should be able to hold on to those wet weather tires. Voidsey not making as big of an inroad on this occasion just yet. Ryan's still holding on. This wet weather really gave that Mercedes the edge it needed, or that it had back in the sprint race. Wasn't really making the inroads on Ryan at the start of this race. Just took probably a little too much time getting through traffic. Continuing to close slowly, but now that the rain has stopped, that Camaro has found pace once again. Crosses the line 203.4 to a 202.9. So only a few tenths on that lap. Two to go here. And I think that will probably do it for this battle for the lead. Unfortunately, just not enough time for Voidsey to try to close back in on Ryan here to the end. Unless Ryan makes a uncharacteristic mistake, I think that will be it. Unless that Mercedes finds a bucket load of pace immediately. James now is probably starting to really struggle on those wet weather tires. They'll be starting to really overheat now without proper water to keep them cool. Empire comfortably running fourth over Mike, who has a 2 and a bit second gap back to Toxic, who's got a further 4 seconds to Sir. And then Ty now rounds out our cars still out on track in 8th. 4.3 the gap now between the two leaders. Pretty much holding station now through to the end with just a lap and a bit remaining. Makes his way through this final sweeping corner to exit out onto the main straight. We'll see what the lap time is, a 1:58.4, and Ryan will start the final lap at 1:58.3. Only gained a 10th on that last lap. Perhaps that Mercedes with its heavier tire wear not quite able to find the time it needs here at the end. Track continuing to dry. If we had a few more laps, we might have considered going back to slicks, but these drivers will hold on to their intermediates for this final lap. James especially now really needing to hold on to it. He's not lost much time though. He's only lost about half a second to those behind from the gap that he did have. So top 3 in the championship will still be your top 3 in the championship, but Ryan will pick up, assuming all stays the same, will pick up his... If I can pull up the thing. This will be his second win of the season. Oh, no, wait, sorry. I'm looking at Drift King. Or Super S2K, who isn't here today. Ryan will pick up his first win of the season. And his first podium. James will automatically jump up into second in the standings with his third place finish. Having finished second in both of the previous races. But it will be Ryan who exits the final corner, flashes the lights to win it here in Autopolis. Void Z will round the final corner to come home comfortably in second. So he's now finished in every position on the podium so far this season. James will come around the final sector eventually. Little over 40 seconds behind the lead. Those front two really just ran away with it. And James's tires also really struggling, to say the least now. Made the call to go onto the wets. Probably pitted a lap too early to go onto the intermediates, but his medium tires just did not have the life he needed. Would have been interesting to see if he was able to hold on to those mediums or if he just started the race on the hards. But James will come home third. Empire fourth. Mike will finish in sixth, or Empire fifth. Sorry, Mike will finish sixth. Actually a close battle. I apologize. I completely missed Mike catching up. Sir will finish, I know it says fourth, but that is because there was a minute time penalty applied to just about every driver except Sir, because he pitted for both the soft and the hard before pitting onto the intermediate. So he will come home in seventh. Ty will eventually round the final corner to round out our grid in eighth. Two non-finishers. Sanchez, unfortunately, I believe, disconnected, and then Lion retired his car after finding out he did not have any wet weather tires, which was highly unfortunate, but that will do it for us here today. Thank you all so much for watching once again. Events coming up, I believe we do not have a VPRL race tomorrow, so stay tuned for that next series, for their next leg of their GT4 championship. And then it should be our next Scorpio Super Formula race will be July 12th. I, unfortunately, will not be broadcasting next week's GT4 race. I will be out of town for the July 4th weekend. But once again, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to tune in for our next broadcast whenever it may be. I'm assuming it'll be the 12th, but regardless, thank you all so much, and have a good night.